My name is Noelisa Zapata and I am 29. Growing up, I grew up with my grandmother. My parents died when I was really young. So I always lived in Puerto Rico with my grandparents. I moved here when I was about 16, 17. It wasn't a good story, you know. I had a lot of drama growing up. My grandparents were a little abusive, but the first person I met from Catholic Charities was Miss Omima. I was with my nephew in the living room, and she had came for a visit, and they were like super awesome. I'm like, who are these people? They were playing because my nephew is autistic, so you know a lot of people that engage with him don't engage like normal because they kind of scared of what he can do and he cannot. But Miss Omima was like all over my nephew and the way he loved her and kissed her. I was just knew that she was a great person. I think that one of the biggest things that Catholic Charities has done that is part of the organizations is the Christmas that they give the families. I for one, I didn't have Christmas last year for my kids, you know what I'm saying? And it was actually a blessing that they reached out. Even to me, they gave me a gift. I was like, oh my God, it's special. I moved to Catholic Charities. I was in a shelter before I moved here. And ever since I moved to Catholic Charities, I have a roof over my head, you know what I'm saying? And I think that makes everything better than not having anything. And I got into school and I also work. So it's been rewarding for me. Like, it's been rewarding, and I love where I'm at right now.
Sophia Joseph, I'm 36 years old. I'm actually trying to get my GED. I'm in school getting that. Another one of my goals is to own my own house by the time I'm 40. And a goal that I just said, I'm not a I'm not a U.S. citizen, and I was able to obtain paperwork stating that I will be eligible to work in U.S. So that's a goal that I have been working on since I was 21. I'm proud of myself because, like I said, I'm not from America. I'm from Barbados. I could have gave up a long time ago, not being able to support my kids financially the way I want to. Just get up and work. I didn't have that opportunity to do that. So I'm proud of me because I'm able to keep pushing no matter what obstacles was in my way. I kept going no matter what. No matter what anybody said, I kept going and I did it. And I'm still doing it. Never give up. Again, take me as an example, not being able to work, do things for my kids, financially, but I'm still doing it. If I can do it, you can.
Hi, what's your name?
Joe.
Morning, Joe. Joe, how long have you lived here?
16 years.
16 years, that's a long time. Why did you come here?
I came here because I'm disabled and I needed a place to live, and I was sort of interested in Catholic Charities. I really needed a place to live, and I was sort of interested in Catholic Charities, charitable housing.
What's the best part about living here?
I like everything about it. I like living here very, very much so.
Why?
I do. I like everything about it. I'm happy here. It's a clean place to live. The people are nice. Everybody likes me. I'm very happy to live here.
Do you think you're going to live here a long time?
I lived here 16 years, and I have plans. In another 2 years, I'm on a waiting list with Albany County Housing Authority for Westview Homes. I think maybe in another 2 years or so, when I'm 55 years old, I think I really might be ready for an apartment, really.
What's the best part about the Paul residence?
I think I like the people, really. The people are nice, really.
That's the best part?
Yeah.
What's the worst part?
I don't have anything bad to say about the Paul House, really. It's run well and the staff well. Everything's really pretty well.
Where do you think you would be living if you didn't have someplace like this to live?
I think really I might be in a long-term group home, which I'm not interested in. I was there long enough.
So you did your time.
I don't really need a long-term group home, no.
Well, thank you, Joe.
Okay.
I think that's the end of our interview, unless you have anything you'd
I
like
don't.
to say.
No, I don't.
All right. Well, that was very good. You did a good job.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
What's your name?
My name is Jerome.
And where do you live, Jerome?
I live at 504 Central Ave at the Paul residence.
And where did you live before you came here?
Saratoga Springs. Me and my baby's mother, we had differences. So I said, you know what? And then I moved out and I moved to Albany and just let her keep the house because it's my daughter. You know what I mean? When I came to Albany, I was working, but it was more homeless because I couldn't find a place right on time. They put me in Luanda House. And since I was at Luanda House, this guy, the caseworker, Stephen, after a while, he said, "You're a good candidate for the Paul House, Paul residence." And I was like, "Oh, lovely," you know what I mean? And then I came here. I'm glad that I put my money away because when I got here, then I had money to move in. And then they said, you had to sign a lease for a year. If you stay a year, you get to Section 8. I never knew nothing about DSS or anything like this. You know what I mean? So I'm loving it. I go to school, Mildred Ellie, for medical assistant. I want to be a paramedic, EMT paramedic.
What's your plans for the future?
I want my own place, because I need a yard. I need a yard. And I need a 2-bedroom. Just for the fact that it's all about, everything is all, the reason I came to Albany, it's all about my daughter. Well, me also, but if I got it good, she has it good, period. And that's what it's all about.
Excellent.
That's what it's all about. It's beautiful. All right, if the day is beautiful. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Lidine Ryan, I'm 54 years old. My daughter, she's in Trinidad and she's HIV positive. And basically when I found out like 9-10 years ago, I was every year just making my trips back and forward from Trinidad to America, helping her out. And in doing so, it basically took everything that I had. Lost my job, I had to start all over again. For me it was scary because I'm a person who, since being in the United States of America, have always tried my best to have a job, have my own apartment, and basically this was something new to me. It felt real scary of having to give my apartment up and come into a shelter not knowing what is going to happen. When I got here, I was scared, but there were a group of women who welcomed me, and that made it a whole lot better for me to basically feel comfortable and get adjusted. And within 3 weeks of being here, I was given the opportunity to do something different, which is to be in transition living. And that gave me the opportunity then to kind of be stable in a sense of being here, but doing what I needed to do, like to go to mental health treatment. It's given me that place to be home away from home until I get my apartment. So, what is life like for me right now? I feel a whole lot calmer than I was when I came in. I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel, something that I couldn't see for a long while. I feel at peace because I know I'm in transition and it's going to be something better. What I'm proud of is that I didn't give up. What I'm proud of is that even though I was afraid to coming into the shelter and meeting with the staff, some of the staff members has given me the support and the understanding that I really wasn't expecting, encouraging me to basically, there's no need for me to feel ashamed for where I'm at. Sometimes you never know what situation you would fall in. It doesn't matter the status of your life. Things happen. Listen, if I could make it, then I believe that anybody could. You know, because I have suffered tremendous trauma. But I'm still standing. I'm still here. So, as I say, for me, it's not easy. It's not going to be something that is going to happen in your life overnight. But within time, being around positive people, you know, don't give up. You know, there's always tomorrow. So, that's it.
My name's Nicolette. I'm 36. I grew up in Vermont. My dad raised my sister and I. He's a police officer still. I love Albany. I consider Albany my home now, but it's a very different environment than small town Vermont. And I developed a pretty bad addiction to drugs. And that's what led to the homelessness. I was kind of repeatedly getting like kicked out of whatever apartment I was living in, or friend that I was staying with, or, you know, room that I was renting or whatever. And it just, I just ran out of options. You know, I'd also started, you know, I always say that, like, you know, becoming homeless was kind of a blessing in disguise, because I also, you know, once I came here, I subsequently went to treatment afterwards. I very quickly figured out that I wasn't going to be able to keep doing what I was doing and staying here. And I knew that I didn't have anywhere else to go. So I kind of had to make a choice. Like, do I want to stick this out and do as best as I can here, or do I want to keep using, which I didn't want to do anyway, you know? But, so, you know, it was like the first step that led to, you know, a better life for me, for myself. I was here 13 months, which is longer than the usual. I have my own place now, which I love. I love that little apartment. I now, after volunteering I started volunteering for Project Safe Point when I was living here, right before I moved. They are a service under the umbrella, if you will, of Catholic Charities Services, and we offer free services to active drug users. I walk around a lot in the evening and do street outreach. We help people who are using get into treatment. So I had never thought in a million years that my experiences as an addict, as a homeless addict, would ever be an asset in any sort of professional setting. But that's ultimately what got me hired over there. They offered me a full-time position. I've never held a job longer than a year, so I really want to make sure I break that pattern, get much far beyond that, When I first got that job, one of the counselors at where I go to treatment was like, don't screw that up. You can retire from that job. And it's crazy. I've never had insurance through my employer or life insurance, and just all this. I don't know. It's a totally different life, but I love it. I really thought that drugs were going to be the way that I went out, and that's what my life was going to look like. And sadly, I was okay with it at the time. I never really pictured anything different for myself. So the progress and how different my life is in just a year is crazy. It's unbelievable. I never would have guessed it. Never.